Okay, maybe they're having a bad day over at Disney. Disney's Parks division takes a $3.5 billion quarterly hit. A quarterly hit is a quarterly loss. That means in the space of 3 months, they lost $3.5 billion in just their theme park division. That's a lot of money. We'll go into it in detail and what this means for Disney. First, if you want to support my work, collegeofthedead.com, where college costs you an arm and a leg, 48-page full-color graphic novel. Check it out. Also, get to epicmermaids.com and sign up for The Mermaids. It's an epic mermaid fantasy. It's like Game of Thrones with mermaids. Full-color comic. Back to the article. Disney's theme park divisions takes a $3.5 billion quarterly hit. Okay, $3.5 billion quarterly loss. Let's see what the article says. This is coming from The Hollywood Reporter. The company now has more than 100 million paid subscribers across its direct-to-consumer portfolio. That means all of its businesses that do business directly to consumer. 100 million paid subscribers. That's pretty good. Well, that's very good news. Too bad they couldn't just be talking about that and they have to talk about this gigantic loss. Disney on Tuesday offered a look at a business almost completely paralyzed by the gigantic health event. The company said Tuesday afternoon that its quarterly earnings per share dropped 94% during a 3-month period when its previously planned film releases continued to await their theatrical debuts. Its theme parks sat empty, and its studio productions were halted. Yeah, basically everything ground to a halt over at Disney. This is terrible for Disney. It is. But it's not putting them out of business just yet. We'll go into some other details about their stock. Disney Parks Experiences and Products businesses saw the biggest hit during the period, taking an approximately $3.5 billion hit due to closures. Just a lot of money to lose. Walt Disney World reopened in July, but the impact of that move won't be known until Disney's fiscal fourth quarter results are released later this year. So yes, they were able to reopen a little bit and bring in a little bit of money, but they're still going to lose a lot of money. In fact, they might lose as much or more because it's not profitable for them to operate this way. Not all of Disney's businesses have ground to a halt. Disney Plus continues to be a bright spot for the company, growing to an audience of 57.5 million subscribers during the period and offering a home for the recent high-profile releases of Hamilton and Beyonce's Black is King. Yep, that's pretty impressive. So direct-to-consumer, guys, that's where it's at. Direct-to-consumer. That's what's going to save Disney, and that's what's going to be the future of entertainment now. Despite the ongoing challenges of the health event, we've continued to build on the incredible success of Disney Plus as we grow our global direct-to-consumer business, CEO Bob Chapek said in a statement. Quote, "The global reach of our portfolio of direct-to-consumer services now exceeds an astounding 100 million paid subscriptions." That is a lot of people. A significant, could you imagine just getting $1 a month out of 100 million people? It's $100 million. It's a lot of money. They do get more than $1. A significant milestone and a reaffirmation of our DTC strategy. That's direct-to-consumer. That's what they call it in the big entertainment business publications. Which we view as key to the future growth of the company. Well, it definitely is if all your other stuff is shut down, right? It's got to be pretty important. Quick aside to Disney stock, just to kind of get a perspective here. So this is Disney stock over the last month. They were at $114 on July 6th. They're at $117.29 now. Their 52-week high was $153.41. Over the last 5 years, Disney was at $109, $109 5 years ago. Now it's at $116, $117. So where is it going? Where has the stock been? Well, since the gigantic health event, it definitely hurt them a lot. Although their stock was down as little as $85 March 20th. That said, just to kind of get a perspective, it's still a $211 billion company at its current stock value. Even at its lowest stock value since the beginning of the year, or even its lowest stock value in 5 years, the lowest value it's been to, can we even find it? $85, right, in March 20th of this year. So, what would that be? A little bit less, or 10 or 20% less? Keeping it in perspective, Disney is a pretty sizable business. They do need cash to operate. There's no question about that. But they are still profitable, even though they're down like 94%. They still got that little 6% piece, and they're still hanging in there. And with a market capitalization, this means the value of the company, if you were to sell all of the stock to one person, would be $211.86 billion. They can absorb losses like this for quite some time. And just to get a perspective, how much cash does Disney have sitting around, like in the bank, to cover its losses? $14.34 billion. So when they lose $3.5 billion, it's not like the money is out of the cash register. It means their accounting losses are $3.5 billion. They can actually use that to reduce future tax liabilities in their profits. So when you get to be a really big company, it takes a lot more than a couple of bad quarters that are, less than, what is it? It's like not even 2% of their market capitalization. And it's not even their lowest stock value. So, I mean, really, if you had Disney back from 1990, you'd be doing pretty phenomenal on the stock right now. But that said, it's a serious loss for them, and they're going to have to retool and figure out their business. There's going to be a lot of layoffs. Getting back to the article, like its peers, Disney's theatrical business continues to reel from theater closures. After pushing the release date for its live-action Mulan remake several times, the company's finally taken it off the 2020 release calendar entirely, and has also pushed back the planned debuts of several upcoming Star Wars and Avatar films. It is interesting that they took Mulan off completely. It's like, all right, from now we're just taking Mulan away. They don't have a rescheduled date. They have rescheduled dates for everything else, but not for Mulan. Why? I don't know. Nobody tells me. I keep looking, trying to find out. I'll tell you. Last quarter, when the effects of the huge health event were being first felt, Disney said the unexpected pause on its business resulted in a $1.4 billion loss. I don't know why they keep saying hit, but hit. Disney has looked to reduce costs by cutting executive pay, good idea, and stripping executive Bob Iger of his salary. Poor Bob Iger. Well, he's still incredibly rich. The company also conducted widespread furloughs, which impacted employees at Walt Disney Studios as well as Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. And in May, Disney said it would forego its semi-annual dividend, which would save $1.6 billion in case. What that means is, semi-annually they'll pay out $1.6 billion just to whoever the stockholders are, just to say, hey, we've been making so much money, here you go. So they're going to forego, which means not pay, that $1.6 billion this year, which will conserve cash for them. They'll be able to have some extra cash around. Disney shares, believe it or not, closed up nearly 1% for the day, even with this terrible news. So put in the comments below. Tell me what you think. Do you think this is going to be something that's a long-term thing? Disney's going to maybe close up the theme parks? Or do you think, like I'm kind of saying, like they could probably absorb a lot of losses, I mean, when they bought Fox for $80 billion, they spent $20 billion extra on it at the last minute. They thought they were going to buy it for around $60 billion, but Comcast came in and started messing with their deal and trying to offer more money for Fox. And they just kind of paid out the $20 billion. They were like, yeah, all right, $20 billion, you got it. Like a big tip at a restaurant. So they got money. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications. Again, if you want to support my work, collegeofthedead.com. Links in the description below. Get a copy of College of the Dead Graduation Day. And sign up at epicmermaids.com for The Mermaids. Full color comic book, 48 pages. It's like Game of Thrones with mermaids. Coming at you soon. Sign up and you'll find out exactly when. I will see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.